What did Kabız look like in the 18th century? What is the difference between Turkmen Tatar and Dombra? How diverse are the musical instruments of the peoples of the world? Let's find out in the new episode of Welcome to Kazakhstan Project.
Каких только нет музеев в Алматы.
There are many museums in Almaty: Archaeological, Local History and Art Museum, and they are all worth a visit. But according to the reviews of tourists, there is one unique place in Almaty, the Ykhlas Museum of Folk Musical Instruments. Let's visit it. This is Welcome to Kazakhstan Project. My name is Zakirjan Mamlutov. Let's broaden our horizons. If you decide to take a walk in the park of 28 Panfilov Guardsmen in Almaty, then definitely you will notice an amazing wooden building, made in the style of old Russian architecture, but with elements of Kazakh decor. The famous Almaty engineer Andrei Zinkov, the creator of the Ascension Cathedral, worked on its construction. The building was erected in 1908. Then, for many years, it served as an officers' club, a cinema, and only in the 80s it hosted a unique collection in its walls.
Музей открылся 24 апреля 1981 года.
The museum opened on April 24th, 1981. It is a unique museum, the only one of its kind in Central Asia and in Kazakhstan. In general, the history of this museum creation is closely connected with the name of the public figure and statesman, historian and ethnographer Ozbek Ali Janibek. The museum was located at the intersection of Zhebek-Zholle and Panfilov streets, and in 1984 it moved to the current building. In 1990, the museum was named after the Kabız player Ykhlas. Now, 9 halls are functioning here. We have 5 halls of Kazakh musical instruments and 4 halls devoted to foreign countries. There is also a concert hall for 120 seats in the form of a yurt. The museum is now working as a research center. That is, the museum functions as a unified research center and the exhibition center.
Единственный научно-исследовательский центр и как выставочный центр работает.
The museum has 9 halls. Most of them show Kazakh musical instruments. In general, the culture of more than 50 peoples of the world is reflected here. Each hall is unique in its own way, and now we will find proof for this. The introductory hall demonstrates how long ago people mastered playing musical instruments. For example, you can look at the petroglyph, which is more than 4,000 years old. It depicts people playing a musical instrument that resembles a dombra. The exhibits in this hall also refer to ancient times: a shaman's rod for ritual dances, a big drum dabul, a kerne, a wind instrument which was used to sound the alarm. Ykhlas Museum of Folk Musical Instruments is a collection of rarities. In total, there are more than 1,000 exhibits in its archives, of which more than 300 are presented in the halls of the museum. Naturally, a significant part of the exhibition is occupied by Kazakh folk musical instruments. It is not for nothing that the museum is named after the outstanding master of playing qabız, Ykhlas Dukenoglu. I see a double-sided dombra for the first time. The time of manufacture and the craftsman are unknown. In any case, the one who played it was a real virtuoso. The next hall is dedicated to wind and percussion noise instruments. These are the most ancient instruments of mankind. With the help of them, the musicians tried to imitate the sounds of nature, the voices of animals. They were made from the simplest materials: reeds, bones, animal skin. Interestingly, the most ancient wind instruments did not have additional sound holes. Only over time, new holes appeared on primitive pipes and flutes, and the melody, which had previously been played on several reeds, became possible to play on one. This is a real relic, a 17th century qabız that belonged to shaman named Jaras. The famous healer, musician and shaman Jaras bequeathed it to his descendants. The qabız is in good condition for its age, though it is no longer suitable for playing on it. In the hall of qabız, there are also instruments that belong to other outstanding masters: Mekenbay Kaybagaroglu, Japas Kalambayoğlu, Davlet Mektebayoğlu. You can carefully study how they differ because each instrument is unique. Some qabız are made of birch, some of juniper. Horsehair serve as strings. Qabız is an excellent instrument for conveying the sounds of nature in all its diversity. The Dombra Hall is actually called a memorial hall because every instrument in it once belonged to a great performer. Everything here refers to the golden age in the history of Kazakh music. Seeing live Dombra of Akan Sere, Jambil Jabayoğlu, Abay Kunanbayoğlu, and Shakarim is worth a lot. Just for the sake of this, you need to come to Almaty and visit this special museum. In the Hall of Musical Instruments of the Turkic peoples, you can find out how similar they are in related cultures. How, for example, does a Turkmen dutar differ from a dombra? What a real Kyrgyz komuz look like? And how to play the Bashkir flute kuray? The exposition is beautifully designed and clearly demonstrates certain features of Turkic people's instruments.
зале мастеров. Здесь представлены...
We are in the Hall of the Masters. Here you can find musical instruments made by masters of their craft. There is a 7-string zetigen and varieties of shankobuz. Seeing them is like looking at a Stradivari violin. The rest of the halls are dedicated to musical instruments of the peoples of the world. There are exhibits from Africa, graceful drums, the purpose of which is clear, and strange instruments, the purpose of which cannot be immediately understood without a guide. The collection also presents national musical instruments of Asian peoples, both wind and stringed.
Это музыкальный инструмент анклунг.
It is a musical instrument called anklung, instrument made of bamboo. It only produces a few notes when it is shaken. It is used in orchestras, it can make several sounds, and you can play fully.
Вьетнамский?
Vietnamese, Indonesian. This is the entire collection from Indonesia. Kendang drums. Gamelan is a percussion instrument. This is a unique Indonesian sasando instrument. In appearance, it may resemble a cobra.
В Казахстане есть?
Are there specialists in Kazakhstan who can play such instruments? No. The skill of playing is passed down from generation to generation. That is, there are only a few in the world who can extract sounds from such an instrument. Yes, only a few. The sound is very pleasant, like a harp, a unique museum. Musical instruments of the peoples of Europe cannot be confused with anything. Balalaika, gusli, bagpipes, almost everyone knows them. In the Ykhlas museum, you can not only look at them live, but also hear how they sound. Within the walls of the museum, musical instruments are not only stored but also acquire a new life. The oldest samples are being restored. In 2013, restoration work was carried out in the museum. As a result, in addition to exhibition halls, the building was enriched with a media library and a cinema. The museum regularly hosts concerts of ethnic music, with the participation of students from Kazakh National Academy of Arts and the Kurmangazy Kazakh National Conservatory. Excursions in Kazakh, Russian and English are available for museum guests. Music is a language that everyone can understand. And after visiting the Ykhlas Museum of National Musical Instruments, you can say with confidence, "Now I know a little more about this world." Welcome to Kazakhstan.